Hi, folks. This is Sid from 3-Minute Travel Tips. Welcome to 3-Minute Travel Tips Live. 3-Minute Travel Tips Live is a roundtable discussion with travel professionals and industry bloggers. We're here to talk about vacation topics in a little more detail. Each 30-minute show will feature a segment where we dig a little bit deeper than our usual 30-minute format, 3-minute format, that is. Vacation planning doesn't have to be complicated. We're all about offering content to help make your vacation experiences memorable. Today we're in the middle of a trip. We're doing a third part to now a 3-part adventure on Adventures by Disney. Want to learn more about Adventures by Disney? We've got the lowdown in 30 minutes or less. I'd like to introduce our guests. Joining us first up is Monday Cleghorn. Monday is president and owner of Magic of Mickey Travel. Magic of Mickey Travel has earned quite an honor within the Disney organization. It is recognized by Disney to be an authorized Disney vacation planner. Monday, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, Sid?
Doing well, doing well. Second up, joining us is Gwen Rowe. Gwen is manager and a travel professional with Magic of Mickey Travel, and both ladies are back from an Adventures by Disney trip to Italy. Gwen, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Glad to be here.
Excellent.
Although
excellent.
I wish I was still in Italy.
I have no doubt. Well, as I mentioned a moment ago, this is the third part of a 3-part series we're doing on Adventures by Disney. In our first part, we covered the details describing what Adventures by Disney is all about. We also talked a little bit about how their Rome experiences were going. Monday and Gwen at the time were broadcasting from Rome. In part 2, we talked a little bit about what Tuscany was all about and some of the adventures that they were experiencing there. I highly recommend that if you can, watch these segments in order with part 1 and part 2 first before watching this segment, because that way you'll get a chance to understand exactly what we're talking about when looking at an Adventures by Disney trip. Well, ladies, let's pick up from where we were before. If I remember correctly, you were in Tuscany and you were in the middle of a trip to Florence. Monday, what was happening here?
Oh my goodness. We left the hotel and headed over to Florence for the day. Florence is a beautiful town. It's actually called, they claim it to be the most beautiful city in Italy. It was definitely beautiful. We stopped in a really nice place where they knew the perfect spot. The adventure guides knew the perfect spot to get your picture made with a view of Florence in the background. So we all got out there. We ran quickly, well, didn't run. Some of us did. Some of us, our legs are shorter than others. So no, we quickly headed over to our little spot, and they got us all set up. And, one by one, they took our pictures with Florence in the background. And they're so good at what they do. They know exactly how to handle this. So we got our pictures made. Then we headed on into Florence and started off on our walking tour. We went over to the Palazzo Vecchio. We saw David. I know that Gwen talked about this on the last one, but it was just everything that we got to do that day was really neat. It's a lot of history involved in the things that we've done. We saw one of the 5 largest churches in the world. It was a beautiful, beautiful church, and I think it actually is tied at number 3 with 3 other churches. So it was gorgeous, gorgeous church. We saw, what all did we see? My goodness. We went to the Disney store. I saw the Disney store in Rome, and of course we went to the Disney store in Venice. I mean, you have to go to the Disney store, let's see, did we have, we had, oh my goodness, we had, there was this place in Florence on one of the streets that was, they had a chocolate wall. You walked inside, it was a gelato place, and they had all kinds of chocolates, but the whole wall ran chocolate all the way down it. It was awesome. We got some gelato there, and then we went and sat down at a little cafe and enjoyed our gelato and had some, believe it or not, sweet tea.
Sweet tea, huh?
Yeah, tea.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. That was like, that was a blessing.
Yeah.
If you know people from the
Two
South,
Southern girls were
that's
sitting on
right.
sweet tea in here, and it had ice in it, which
Yes.
was also a blessing.
It's good. Yeah. Yes, because the funny thing is, when you get drinks there in Italy, most of the time, I think every time we had something, we had to ask for ice. So they don't bring you ice; you have to ask for it. But yeah, that was neat. That was a neat day. You had the option of leaving at 6:30 or staying until 9. We decided we wanted to go back and just take in, the sunset overlooking the view that we had from our room, and so we just went on back to our room at 6:30 with, I think there was probably 15 of us or so, and headed back, and we went up there to our room. We stood there by it wasn't actually a balcony, but you could open the doors to the room and look out. There are several rooms that have balconies. Others just have, a door that opens and you can see. And there's a gate there, I guess. I don't know what you call it, a railing there at your door, and keeps you from, falling. But you can see the views. It's just gorgeous. Oh my goodness. We watched the
We
sun.
stood there for probably an hour. We
Yeah,
watched every moment of that sunset.
we
You
did.
know, it was something else
We took
spectacular.
lots of pictures, lots of
Yeah,
videos over the course
yeah.
of the hour, and it was just amazing. I mean, wow, you can't get much better than that. It was so relaxing.
Yeah.
And then we went down and had dinner at the hotel restaurant. My goodness, that meal was amazing.
Yes,
Um,
it was
we had
delicious.
ravioli with truffles sprinkled on it, and oh my goodness. That's one of the best things I've ever eaten in my life.
Yeah,
The food in Italy is just to die for. I mean,
yeah.
we're headed out on a Disney cruise on the 14th, and we're staying at Walt Disney World on the 13th. And the first thing I did was book us a reservation at Trattoria Al Forno, so I can have some Italian food. I'm missing it. I'm missing it. It's so good. But wow, it was a fun day, and we hated leaving Tuscany. We just kept thinking, there's nothing going to be this good. But we knew that there was more in store for us. So again, we set our luggage out the next morning, and lo and behold, they came got it. We didn't see it again until we got back to our room, and that was in Venice.
Wow.
So, yeah, but to get to Venice, that was fun. Tell them all about it.
Yeah. Well, we left our hotel in the motor coach, and it took us to the bullet train station. So we took a bullet train, which was about 2 hours, I believe, if I'm thinking correctly. And we were going really high speed, but it didn't feel like, I was kind of nervous about taking this train, but it wasn't that bad. You really didn't feel like you were going that fast, but got us there pretty quickly. And then we came off the train station, and we took a gondola ride. We were in Venice, so we went straight to our gondolas that our adventure guides had already reserved for us. We hopped right on the gondola, went over to an island that we were staying on, and we took a walking tour. And then they had a taxi boat for us to go back to our hotel, to check into our hotel, so we didn't have to wait on multiple boats. So that was really nice. I mean, Venice was... Do what? Private, yeah, it was a private taxi. Venice was breathtaking. I mean, we got there, and I mean, I had never seen anything like it. So, and it's beautiful. And the gondola ride was really something special. It was something that everybody thinks about when they go to Venice. And that we checked on a price, just for us to do it, and it was $100. So that's something that you don't have to factor into your. So it's something you don't have to factor into your trip. It's already included. So it was really, really neat.
It was just being able to see, in Venice, they walk everywhere. It's either walk or boat. There's no bicycles, there's no mopeds, there's no cars, trucks, nothing, just boats and walking. And so as we were passing by some of the scenes, on the gondola ride, we had the local expert in the gondola with us, so she was able to tell us some things that not everybody else was getting to hear. But it was a lot of things about, like, you know, we passed by the fire truck, the fire
station. Yeah, which had fire boats underneath.
Yeah, boats.
Now fire trucks, fire boats.
Yeah. The hospital's the same way. You know, I mean, they have their ambulances or boats. So that was neat. We also got to pass by one of the buildings where Johnny Depp and what's her name? Angelina Jolie were in a movie together, and they showed us that. While we were there, one of our, actually several people in our party actually saw Diane Keaton.
Oh, wow.
There was an international film festival going on in Venice, so there was actually a few different celebrities there, including Johnny Depp, who we tried to find but couldn't. But, you know, it was, so we were all kind of keeping an eye out for these celebrities walking around. So several of them were actually able to see Diane Keaton, so that was pretty cool.
That's right.
But, yeah. Our hotel was beautiful. We had a canal view, so it was really nice just to open the windows and see the canal, the island across with the boats. You know, we saw several cruise ships go by, which was pretty neat. Beautiful sunsets and sunrises from our room, which, you know, we if you've watched our series that we've been doing, we're kind of suckers for. So that was good for us. So. The next day we went into maybe it was that day we went into the castle, we went into the church on the first day, which was pretty neat. And you could actually see where the island was, you know, where they say it's sinking. So the next day we went to the castle, and what did we do?
The next day we also went to a little shop in.
Oh yeah, we did do that day.
Yeah, and they actually make carnival masks.
Oh,
and
wow.
Carnival is a huge thing, you know, in Venice. So mask making is also very big, and we got to make masks. So
wow.
we actually have our mask, and we want to show you our mask. This is fun.
Oh my gosh, they're beautiful though.
Aren't they pretty?
Thank you.
Oh.
It was just, you know, I'll tell you a couple of the things that I really was hesitant about at the beginning before we ever started the trip. First of all was the pasta making. I love to cook, but I kept thinking, what's going to be fun about making pasta? You know, the other was mask making, and I kept thinking the same thing. This can't be all that fun, you know. Boy, was I wrong. I mean, those were two of my favorite things that we did. Pasta making was so much fun to be there, like Gwen said, with a lot of other people, just having fun and learning things together as a group, and being silly. You know, same thing with making these masks. This was one of the funnest things. You know, we got to choose our mask, and we have some pictures where, you know, there was a group of a table of all these different masks that you could choose from, and so we got to choose out the mask that we wanted to make, and then we took those in, and what they gave us the paint colors that we wanted, and we had all the tools that we needed to create our mask, and then they took them, and even if we didn't do that great of a job, they embellished them with, you know, like this little thing right here. You know, I didn't put that on there. They did. They put it on there. Some of them
have this on mine.
Yeah.
I put this on mine. There.
Oh, wow. Huh.
But it was a neat experience. And then that evening, we went back. We actually had the afternoon on our own, so we did some shopping. You know, we did like some major shopping. So we spent some time spending a little euros, and then we went back over to the hotel, and we freshened up, got ready for dinner, and this was our farewell dinner. And everybody at this point is like best friends, you know. I mean, you feel like family, and they kept calling us family. Our adventure guides all throughout the trip, they would say, they would call us their family, and that made it so. I don't know. It was a great feeling. It was a great experience.
You didn't feel like you were so far away from home. It wasn't overwhelming because you felt like you were there in a family, in a group that was safe, and yeah.
Friends.
So
Your friends. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I follow the logic. Yeah.
Yeah. But we that night, so we go down for dinner, and we all meet in the lobby. Well, not actually the lobby. It's a little area off the lobby. We left there, got on the Jolly Roger. It's a pirate ship. They had a feast for us on the pirate ship. We also got to see our finished mask. So everybody got their mask. We enjoyed
there was a DJ.
Oh, there was dancing. There was video of some of the shots from our trip that the adventure guides had been taking, and lots of hugging and laughter and farewells, and it was an amazing night. We all hated for it to end. Seemed like it didn't last but just a few minutes, but it was a 3-hour cruise.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And the video at the end was such a touching and just such a personal I guess touch on the trip, because all through the trip our adventure guides are taking pictures of us. And they'll take pictures with your camera, they'll take pictures with their camera, and they put it together on a slideshow with music, and so you're watching the whole trip day by day, just all these pictures that they've taken, and you're watching it sailing on the ship, passing these big buildings in Venice that are lit up. It was really emotional to me. I mean, I got really emotional because it was just so special. I was like, wow, I'm in Italy. Like, look at all the stuff that we've done, because it seemed like it just flew by. So it was nice to be able to reflect that around your friends that you've made. And I mean, it was really special. I'm really glad that they did that.
Oh, me too.
It sounds like it's a little bit of a pinch me moment in that
exactly.
you because it all came home. As you're seeing your adventure through the eyes of their cameras, and
right.
And it's like, it's the greatest hits collection here of all of these experiences all rolled into one, and it's personalized based on you and what you've done.
Right.
What were they're taking pictures of y'all, they're taking pictures using your equipment. I mean, what was it like? Are they good pictures? I mean, do they know what
absolutely.
they're doing?
Yeah. And they knew the perfect spots to
Yeah.
take pictures. We were taking pictures kind of in some awkward spots because we thought, hey, we're here. They were like, no, let's wait just a few minutes, and they would find. I mean, it was a perfect view of everywhere we were, and it was so cool because what they would do, so many people were there trying to get their pictures. They would kind of make a little area to where nobody could walk into our circle.
Guard off, lock off.
Yeah,
No.
they would guard it off so that it was us and we weren't being, overcrowded, and that's something that you would not ever get with any other tour, any other tour group. So it was really nice to have those pictures because, those are your memories that you're going to have, and you don't want a million people in them. So the pictures were awesome. They really took the time to get perfect shots, not just point and snap. So
and then they give you the opportunity to actually download those pictures. So we'll have those pictures, on our own. We can use them for whatever, and it's fun. They're so attentive to every detail, things that you don't even really think about. I thought that I had left a charging cord back at one of the hotels, and I discovered later when I got home that I actually found it. But
oh, good.
Yeah. But
I didn't find my lanyards.
Did you? Good.
No, I did not.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Well, I lost this. I thought I lost it, the cord, and it was for a Mophie. And, I made mention of it at one point to one of the adventure guides, and he said, hang on a minute. He said, somebody else has a Mophie with us, so I'll tell her to let you borrow her Mophie charging cord. Just things like
little
that.
Things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Things that you don't really think about. Water, was provided. Every place we went,
Everywhere.
they
It was
had.
pretty hot. It was very humid and very hot, and so everywhere we went, they had. I mean, we've got pictures of our one of our adventure guides walking through the bus with like a handful of water bottles,
Yeah.
just handing them out. They wanted to make sure we stayed hydrated. They treated us to gelato. They just every single. I mean, anytime we had to use the restroom, it cost money.
Right.
We didn't know that it cost money until about halfway through the trip because they had been taking care of it the whole time. They were able to give us advice on, the best places to shop and eat and where to kind of avoid, and which was great because, that we wouldn't have known that on our own. So it was just every detail was just smooth and seamless. It's not smoothless, that's not a word. Anyway, but yeah, I mean, we didn't have to worry about anything. This was amazing.
It was incredible.
Well, you've talked a little bit about Florence. You talked a little bit about what all happened in Venice. You've talked a little bit about the pictures. Before we start to wrap up, a couple of other points we may want to chat about. Let's talk about the hotels and what were the hotels like? How would you characterize those?
Very luxurious. Top of the line hotels. The place we stayed in, Venice, of course, starting backwards, I guess, but it was a Hilton. It was every room in our group. They had the view of
views.
The canal, and I mean that
was a lovely hotel. The room was I think it was my favorite room.
It was mine too.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one. Now is that the one we broadcast from?
No. That was in Rome.
Oh, that was Rome. Okay.
That was also a really nice place.
Yes, it was. It was very nice. We had unique.
Very unique.
Bathroom area, just very unique. Very neat. Views were beautiful. We had a really good view of Rome. We could see the Castel St. Angelo. We had just some really good views all the way around. Our second place in Tuscany was a boutique type hotel, and it was really nice. We had a beautiful view of the Tuscany Valley, and it was just.
It was beautiful. The outside landscaping there took my breath away when we drove up. I was like, wow, it was just really beautiful. And something that we didn't mention before, when we got to the hotel in Tuscany, they actually greeted us with a reception. So we actually got to go out into like a little courtyard area, and they had drinks, refreshments, and then they also had mozzarella, tomato, and basil sprinkled with the olive oil that they make there, and or truffle oil actually, I should say, and some fruit salad. And each hotel had continental breakfast. So we didn't have to, worry about breakfast every morning.
And actually,
most meals were provided.
The breakfast was actually even more than continental. It was.
Yeah.
It was
full. Yeah. I mean, lots and lots and lots of options. I mean, we had full breakfast every morning. So, and it was good. It was a really good breakfast everywhere we went. So.
And the hotel in Venice had the gentleman who owns that hotel is also part owner in Nutella. So there's a Nutella bar outside, and you could get Nutella refreshments, and it was just neat. I mean, there's just so much. I wish we could go on and on. But to tell you, the food was just incredible.
Out of this world.
Yeah, best pizza I've ever eaten in my life.
Oh yeah.
Best lasagna.
The best pizza, the best pasta. I had a lot of bests there that can't be topped, unless maybe we go back and find a better place. But I doubt it. I mean,
best gelato for me.
Oh yeah.
Of course, I haven't had it since then. So.
We ate a lot of gelato while we were there.
Yes, I did. We both did. Yeah.
It sounds like it was a pretty spectacular trip. We're getting close to where we need to wrap it up. But any other closing things you might want to chat about, as far as maybe the adventure guides or anything else like that before we wrap?
They were incredible. I mean, they knew exactly what they were doing. They were each perfect for their job.
Yeah.
And they took us in like we had been friends forever. I mean, they didn't act like they had never met us before. We were family from the get-go. And I mean, like we said before, everything was taken care of, every detail. It was, and they knew they knew the area. They were very familiar with it, so they were able to offer lots of different, suggestions and things like that. And they took care of, the people that wanted to go to nicer restaurants that needed reservations. They would make reservations for you. It was very concierge level. It was, they were, I really can't say enough great things about them.
Yeah, they were friends. We left there feeling like we were friends with those people. And as a matter of fact, I even, we're both friends with one of them on Facebook, and I sent one of them a private message and said, I've got some pictures of you. He did a cannonball in the pool in Tuscany, and I said, I've got pictures of you that I want to send you, and I said, I don't know if I can send them to you with us not being friends. I said, if you want to just friend me, accept my friend request, and then you can, we don't have to be friends. If you want to, if you want to unfriend me, that's fine. He said, what, are you kidding me? He said, of course I'll be friends with you. I'd love to be friends with you. I mean, and he may not admit that, but I think he did. I think he felt, I mean, we just had an amazing time. I mean, it was amazing getting to know these people, and they told us things about themselves, about their lives, and that was neat. That's special to me.
Well,
and they didn't just hang out together, while we were in groups. They made it a point to make sure that they, spread their time between everybody that was there. So, on the bus, they would go and sit by different people and talk to them and chat with them. And, every meal they made sure that they kind of sat by different people. And so it was like we were all just the best of friends. So it was great.
Wow. Well, this sounds like it was an absolutely spectacular adventure. We've covered several hangouts where we've gone and talked about different destinations, and I have to admit, this has got me. I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go back.
Well, I hate to do it, but we need to wrap things up. We've got we've had a wonderful 3-part series here on Adventures by Disney, and but before we wrap up this particular show, I'd like to offer our what we call our tip of the day. And ladies, I'll start with you, Monday. What might be your tip of the day?
Well, sticking with Adventures by Disney, this was the best trip of my life. I can't say enough about it. So I encourage anybody who wants to go on Adventures by Disney, first of all, to contact one of the travel professionals at Magic Mickey Travel, but soak it all in. When you go on this trip or any Adventures by Disney, take the time to soak it in. It is over in a heartbeat, and just enjoy every minute of it.
Well, we're getting tight on time. Gwen, what is your tip of the day?
I echo that. It was the trip of a lifetime. Don't, just go. I mean, that's my tip. Go. Don't let anything hold you back. Take your family. Go on the trip. Contact your travel professional at Magic and Mickey Travel. There's different times to go where the prices might be a little less expensive than others. I believe that there are payment plans with a down payment. So I mean, there's we can make it really easy for you. It will be something that you will never ever forget.
Do not hesitate. Just go. Well,
exactly. They're all packed right now. Call me. We'll book it right now. You can leave tomorrow. No,
call us now.
Well, my tip of the day. I'm going to shift gears. We're going to Walt Disney World Resort, and I'm going to suggest that you contact your travel professional, because this fall there are some outstanding things going on. You got the not so scary Halloween party. You got food and wine. You got all kinds of cool things happening over at Walt Disney World Resort. And check with your travel professional for more details. Well, we need to wrap it up. I'd like to thank you, the guests, for tuning in and watching our broadcast. I'd also like to thank Monday and Gwen of Magic and Mickey Travel. Well, that's it. In 30 minutes or less, for all your Disney travel needs, reach out to any of the dream makers at Magic of Mickey Travel. And for more travel tips, please subscribe below or check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and the Traveling Dad Network. You can also reach us out on our blog website, 3minutetraveltips.com. Thanks for watching.